Get Into Gate. This is episode 112. We are talking Stargate SG-1. Full Get Into Gate team is here. My name is Mitch. Joining me, as always, we got Matty.
Yow.
We got Brendan.
Hello.
And Rhys.
Yeah, g'day, guys.
Now, Get Into Gate. We are talking Stargate SG-1. As I said before, we are three veteran fans introducing a new viewer to the show. If you are new to the show, that's what we're about. Rhys is our newbie. He's watched all these episodes for the very first time. We come in here once a week, talk about an episode at a time. Last week, we punched out the finale of Season 5, which means we're officially halfway through the Stargate SG-1 journey, at least outside of the television movies, and we are here to talk solely about Season 5 and rank it, basically. If this is the first time you've heard one of our end-of-season ranks, get set. Things get juicy. And we're going to put them in three separate groups. Top 7, middle 7, bottom 7. And I think as we started to say a couple of ranks ago, Matty, is that the more these seasons got on, especially once we hit sort of late Season 3, more so 4 and 5, is it was going to get harder to fill up the bottom because it was shit. It was just more so they were just less good than
next season's
going
to be fucking easy.
I reckon I found this season to be much easier than Season 4.
Yeah, I mean,
in terms of
plenty of shit ones in this season.
Fair amount of shit ones.
Yeah, I was the same. I found it easier to fill up the bottom section, harder to fill up the top section.
Yeah, good chat.
Who else
get
has
into
got
it.
something?
All right. Well, as we teased about 2 ranks ago, definitely put it into concrete. It's done. It's good. Last time around, wasn't it? The spreadsheet. Is it back, Brendan? Is the spreadsheet back?
It's backed by popular demand. No, I haven't got it with me actually.
That's okay. I think we can. I think we'll get a general feel. As I'm writing down my own list, I'm like, I think that'll be pretty popular in that area. Maybe not in the exact same number as what I've got it, but we're probably going to get a general feel of how we feel. We'll work it out anyway and see what
I think we can all agree the Sentinel won't be up there.
I think we can agree on that already. Yes. Yeah. We're going to by the end of this, we're going to give out our top 3 and bottom 3 episodes as a collective group that is Get Into Gate. Now, mind you,
that excites me, Mitch. I'm excited.
So, who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Great.
Oh, bottom 7.
Beast of Burden.
Oh, nailed it.
Oh, Jesus.
Ascension. That guy. Threshold. Not popular with you guys. Not a fan of it. Don't like flashbacks. But Desperate Measures. All those guys. Third worst for the season, The Fifth Man.
What?
Wow.
Not about it. Boring. Second worst for the season, Sentinel.
Fair enough.
Good call.
And the worst for the season, obviously, Rite of Passage.
Oh, wow.
It's Cassandra.
No, I agree. There's
guy.
one in there that I just thought would be in everyone's bottom 7.
All the ones. Mine is so different to yours. Not that that's anything new.
Let's do it. Give it to me.
Go for it, buddy.
All right, so my 7th worst, 48 Hours.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Look, I didn't love it.
Oh, you don't like McKay?
Teal'c episode with no Teal'c. Of course he's not going to like it.
Yeah. Set up to be about Teal'c and he wasn't in it.
No.
Don't ever do that to me again, SG-1. Thanks.
Should have been called Cock Tease, basically.
The Tomb was next.
Oh, yeah.
Ascension.
Mm-hmm.
Threshold.
Yep.
Rite of Passage was 3rd worst. Proving Ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2nd worst. Red Sky. Hated it. Worst.
Really?
Yeah. Hated it.
Really?
The only good thing about it was that we saw more than one Asgard.
They were shit Asgard.
Asgardian.
With necklaces.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was Thor with a necklace.
And that big meeting
honest.
room. The big Asgard meeting room.
Yeah. It would have been better if they'd all died.
The
If they
Asgard.
killed that planet.
Oh, the Red Sky.
Yeah, the Red Sky
Yeah, it
planet. If
would've
those
been.
Amish people had
Yeah.
died, I would
Yeah.
have loved it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Loved it.
They couldn't go back to the hall and try to contact Freyr or whoever the hell.
Oh,
All
look,
the
there's
time.
2 of them.
I mean, they never get in contact.
Oh, just go back to Hathor's planet and steal the needle threader, and they can just fly through there in their little space suits. That'll be fine.
Number 7, Beast of Burden. The Tomb. The Sentinel. Ascension. 3rd worst, Desperate Measures. 2nd worst, Rite of Passage. And number 1, worst for me was Proving Ground.
Wow.
I just can't keep watching it. I just know what's going to happen now. And it's just like, ugh.
I'm in trouble here.
It's number 3 on my top. Okay.
Surely not.
Number 7 for me.
It's 21 episodes we're ranking. 7,
Oh,
7,
yeah.
and 7. We're combining Summit and the Last Stand.
Yep. If you want to know the reasons why, go back and listen to season 1. I'll explain. Season 1 wrap will explain
People
why
know.
we're doing it. It's fine. Oh, there'll be some new people that have jumped on board.
Absolutely.
Number 7, The Tomb. Number 6, Desperate Measures.
Yep.
Number 5, Ascension.
Yep.
Number 4, Beasts of Burden. Number 3, Red Sky. Number 2, The Sentinel. And number 1, Rite of Passage.
Yep.
To be fair, I think with Rite of Passage, I was like, why am I writing this in here? I'm like, it's Cassandra, and I think it's because I have very little memory of the episode, so it really didn't impact me at the time.
Yeah.
It's not because I've just been harboring this like great hate for the episode or anything, but
It's
it just
just
left
a
no
nothing
left
episode.
no impact.
Just goes to show that, even though they changed actresses, still a shit character.
Yeah. And plus, like, Nearty wasn't a strong gold either. And she got powers.
Yeah.
She could spin a chessboard piece. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I just don't think the writers can write for a young girl, young woman,
No.
or any
Yeah.
woman for that matter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
been,
Or the
5
fact-
seasons and they've only just got Carter right.
Or just simple things like the fact that she was having birthday cake on the day before her birthday,
Yeah.
and then Fraser got mad at her because she wanted to go out with her boyfriend on the night before her birthday because they were having cake the night
Yeah.
before her birthday.
You eat
And
your
it's
damn
like,
cake.
have cake on your birthday.
Have your cake and eat it too.
Doesn't make sense.
Plus, you can't really center a whole episode around a character that's only been it 3 times in 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, no one cares if she dies.
Yeah.
I mean, she's almost died a couple of times.
Rhys didn't care that Daniel died.
Yeah, barely.
All right, so my middle, going from
The worst to the best.
the worst to the top, working my way upwards. So we got The Tomb, Red Sky, Summit and Last Stand.
What?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
it's okay. It's just so many other better ones in front. Failsafe,
Wouldn't have thought so.
48 Hours, Wormhole Extreme,
Jesus Christ.
What
What,
have
are we
you got
doing
left?
here?
and and Enemies. Enemies at the top of my middle section. I knew that was going to happen. I would have.
Is it because of that?
Yeah. I would have liked to have put it higher because I love Exodus, but Enemies, I think it's just because
Yeah.
of Apophis going out like a
You're
whim.
like a bitch. And
you
and
know.
Tilk is like brainwashed and it's like, oh, yuck,
Yeah.
boring.
There's,
a
I mean,
boring trope.
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
they're the stuff you remember though.
I'm pretty sure Enemies
Yeah,
is
pretty-
like
That's
there's
right.
those epic tracking shots. There's those epic
They're just the
tracking.
things you remember about
Yeah,
it.
but think about all the things you don't remember. Just
Let's-
think about
Let's
that.
do a
for minute.
podcast about all the things we don't remember.
I mean, go back and listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
But it does have those epic tracking shots of like us taking down the replicators, going through the.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
All that kind of stuff, but the actual story is a bit of a letdown. So I Exodus, I love. I think Exodus was in my top 3 last year. But Enemies is again very similar to Nemesis. Nemesis, I loved the end of season 3,
Yeah,
beginning of season 4, Small Victories.
not as great.
Not a huge fan.
Yeah,
So
because they build it up so much to this huge cliffhanger, and then they can't really push any further than that.
Yeah.
So it just plateaus,
yeah,
and then they're like, well, we've got to kick off with the season now, so let's get into the grind.
yeah. They write themselves into these unescapable situations, and then when they do
Yeah.
escape, you're just like, oh, okay,
Yeah. Next week.
yeah.
So for me, it'll be what's that? 14. The
Yep.
Sentinel. Between Two Fires.
Yep.
Failsafe. 2001. The Fifth Man. Meridian. And Desperate Measures. Top of my middle list.
Desperate Measures.
Desperate Measures.
Top of my middle list.
That's the one where
Carter
Carter was
strapped
strapped
to
to,
the
a
bed.
bed.
Yeah, I didn't mind that.
That's not what you said in the podcast.
Yeah, well, going back and looking at these episodes, I'm trying to rank them. I'm like, okay, there's a lot of episodes that really don't have a lot of substance or adventure and that sort of thing. Desperate Measures, you got the Mayborn O'Neill thing again. A lot of
Yeah,
adventure,
that saved it.
a bit of a different story sort of thing. So, yeah, I didn't mind it.
Fair enough.
In the
then.
grand scheme. Like, probably, yes, I mean, I would have preferred a lot of other episodes in different seasons to this, but, we're ranking season 5.
All right. Good. I might get in trouble for mine then. Number 14, Failsafe.
Oh, you kid.
Everyone knew that. Threshold, Between Two Fires, Enemies, Meridian, 48 Hours, and last in the middle, Red Sky.
Wow.
Oh, you love those.
What did you like about it?
I loved all the Daniel and Jack back and forth.
Yeah,
Like, they killed 2 of my men.
No, that's the last 4 seasons.
Yeah, it's just so
That's why he
good.
loves
And
it.
then
He loves the show.
and then Jack's like, absolutely pulls out his gun and points it at old mate. I just love that whole kind of arc between Daniel and
shot
him
him.
and arguing and yeah.
Yeah, I
love
think
it.
that world just pissed me off way too much.
Yeah, that's why it was so
hated them.
satisfying. Jack decking him.
If he had shot him, I would have loved it.
Yeah. Given
Honestly.
that, like, the whole premise of the show is it's like we're trying to free these people from religious slavery,
Yeah.
and it's like these people are just like rubbing in our faces, and it's just like, fuck you and your Amish faces. I want you all to die. I want you all to die of like skin cancer because we f***ed your son.
Well, they would have.
I'm surprised there hasn't been as much love for Between Two Fires as I thought there would be.
Yeah, I think it's just the
like
Ream just got boring
It's a
after a
cop
bit.
out.
That's like
It's
my
just a cop out episode.
it's borderline my favorite like Tolan episode. I mean, I think my favorite is still always going to be Pretense because it brings the Knox back as well.
Yeah.
But no, I really like something about the Tolan and the political intrigue and that kind of stuff just gets me every time.
Yeah, I do like it.
I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of what was their first episode,
Enigma.
That was okay.
Yeah, Between Two Fires just pissed me off because they built the Tolan up to be such a great race and such powerful and technologically advanced, and then all of a sudden, a Goa'uld's helper can demolish you.
Just because they're
and you're
naive
helpless.
enough to think that they could get away with it.
Yeah. I think
Does it
that's
not-
why I think it was just a cop out.
Does it not bite back for you now, though, now that you know about Anubis and the fact that Anubis can go toe-to-toe with an Asgard, and to know that he was kind of behind the whole thing doesn't help at all?
If they had have introduced Anubis first and then took out the Tolan, you'd be like, shit, this guy is real.
Yeah, that's true.
They haven't.
That's fair.
That would've
There's
been
a
good.
lot of setup in season 5 of this. Yeah, this new enemy, this new thing, and
Yeah.
it's like you almost have to watch it all and then go back and watch season 5 to see all the chess pieces that Anubis is moving around.
Yeah.
And I guess in the long run, it would have been easier and nicer to see him and then even just be introduced to him and then know who it is that's moving all these chess pieces as you're going through with all these episodes, I guess.
Because even in Revelations, you don't see him that much. Like, it's the first time you get to see him, but it's like, 2 scenes?
Yeah. And then you kind of have to go back, okay, so he was controlling Tanith, he's controlling Osiris, he's controlling Zapakna, he was involved with theoretically from what we assume he was involved with the asteroid and all these other things. I was just like, it is a lot to kind of go back and attribute all those things to him.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, well, we knew that Apophis was attacking us, we knew who Apophis was.
I get it that like if you go back and rewatch it after you've seen it all, sure, it's going to be, you're going to get a different take on the episodes and a different take on him as the villain, but not knowing who he was and then trying to remember the attacks or remember the moves that he made throughout the season and then having to it's just too much.
Have you done any rewatching throughout this period?
I haven't gone back and rewatched any.
You rewatched Tin Man only?
I've done there's been a couple episodes that I've watched like the day after I record and then a week later I've gone back and rewatched them.
Right, to get refreshed.
And then before we record, but I haven't gone back and say like watched the season 1 episode.
Yeah, you haven't got to the point yet where you're just like, I'd really love to watch like the 5th race again.
Yeah, I want to go back and watch them all, but I just I'm just forcing myself not to.
Yeah.
Just so I can keep having that perspective of watching all the episodes for the first time and not sort of putting pieces together from the past. And
I guess it could muddy the waters as well a bit, I suppose, going back and reliving stuff until
From 14, Proving Ground. I actually watched it recently because I remember coming in to tell.
Watch the first ones though. That's interesting.
Thank you. No, good. Well, I wanted to do my job this time around, but I didn't finish watching this episode when we come to the chat because I actually did just get so bored with it the first time around. I was just like, is this all this is? And I saw it through, get the twist and stuff, and then just like missed the last 10 minutes. I'm like, I want to go back. I want to finish it. and I actually didn't mind it after going through the chat and you guys just like hammering on different people without it. But at the same time, I don't think it belongs anywhere else. Certainly not any higher than the middle 7. But Proving Ground 14, Failsafe. Bit of fun, but yeah. Fifth Man, The Warrior.
That's a surprise.
These 4 are really like they're just interchangeable. I couldn't almost rank them. It was just the way that I wrote them. Fifth Man, The Warrior, Enemies Between Two Fires, and controversially like Maddie, Wormhole Extreme. Whoa. I get that it's such a big episode for Stargate and such a fan favorite, but it's fun, but. Marty also pisses me off a lot too. So like, it's probably hangover from the first time we see him, but like it's fun, but it's so I appreciate it almost separate to the show.
Yeah,
in a way, like it's like a fan thing. It's like what we would like to make in a way.
And
like
for me, it's like I loved Wormhole Extreme until like their 100th episode, until we got to their 200th episode, which is like Wormhole Extreme on acid.
Extreme.
Yeah, so it's like after seeing 200, which I know is polarizing for a lot of Stargate fans, I absolutely adore it. And it's like watching 200 and then going back to Wormhole Extreme, it's like, it's not that outrageous. It's not that sort of crazy and kooky and outrageous compared to what they do in 200. So it's still good ep though, but it's only in the middle for me as well.
I just like the DeLuise boys going at it. For me, that's the best part of
That's
Wormhole Extreme.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I just love it that much.
All right, so moving on to our top section, top 7 for the year. Starting in my number 7 position, Proving Ground. I really like it.
Shit.
Of course you do.
I enjoy it. I don't know.
Really, I knew you enjoyed it, but not so much to have it in your top 7.
Well, he always likes the shit characters, and there's 4 of them in this.
I do.
And a big shout out actually to Elizabeth Rosen, who plays Jennifer Haley. Like I think my sell to the episode when I posted this on our Twitter account was Bloody Haley. Elizabeth Rosen somehow saw that and goes, you know what? Haley's a really difficult character to play, and blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not having a go at you as an actress.
She did a great job.
She did do a great job, and
She's
I think
meant to be annoying.
Yeah, and I just felt really bad. But I'm like, but she's like since interacted with a lot of our episodes and our posts since then. So I don't know whether you're listening to the episodes or you just partaking in Twitter, but thank you, Elizabeth.
Why would you after that?
I really enjoyed Prodigy last year, so I've never really had a huge problem with Haley. Because I know that she's designed to be grating.
Yeah.
As a lot of, really brilliant minds are, they're just not great
No,
socially.
like yourself.
No, I didn't say it
You were leading to it.
in this episode.
Welcome back, High Horse Maddie.
I actually really enjoy Satterfield. It might just be because she's from Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, it is.
And I can relate to it. She's got a crush on Daniel. Who doesn't?
God, yeah. I'd
And she
put
got to
my
sit-
box on his face.
Hey, mate, she got to sit on his face. I'm jealous of
Yeah.
her right there.
God,
Before he died.
Yeah.
He
He was unconscious, though.
He was
The best way to sit on someone's face, mate.
He was, I always like in like characters. I've said it before, like Joffrey from Game of Thrones. Like you're supposed to hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to hate the character. I was gonna say you're supposed to hate the character, but then obviously Maddie loves her. But it's
You love to hate him.
you love to hate him. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And if you're a good actor, then
I
you
just
can
find
get
her
across.
believable. I just find her as like someone who thinks she's the smartest person in the room and has a chip on her shoulder about it because it's like there's a great line in Buffy where Buffy they talk about they get into the psychology of it and it's like she has a superiority complex because she is better than everyone else. She's the Slayer. She's got these superpowers. Yeah. But then she has an inferiority complex about her superiority complex because she knows she shouldn't feel that she's better than everybody. So to me, Haley's a bit like that. It's like she knows she's better than everybody, but she's
the glowing bug slayer.
But yeah, it's like her id is like you're better than everyone, but her ego is like you can't be better than everyone. Like that's not a way to be. So she has that chip on her shoulder about it. So I really respond to that. I find that really interesting. So that's why I never really had a problem with Haley. I like Satterfield, and Grogan and what's the last guy? The leader guy? What was
Oh,
his
mate,
name?
Elliot.
Elliot. That's Elliot's
Can't
probably
even remember
the
his name. You don't care about him.
yeah. Elliot's probably my least favorite of
Yeah.
the four.
Yeah, glad he's dead.
Grogan's fun. You know, Grogan's a
they're
bit
all
silly
dead.
fun.
Yeah, love a big Grogan.
And I just
In the
remember
morning.
loving the reveal because I was like, oh my god, this is another Foothold episode, and then it was all just a test. I do like a little fake out like that sometimes. So moving up from there, number 6, 2001.
Nice.
Number 5, Between Two Fires. I love the Tolan. Number 4, Meridian. Number 3, Revelations.
Yep.
Number 2, Menace. And number 1, Warrior.
Wow, number
I
one.
love Warrior.
Love Warrior.
I
No
was
doubt.
iffy. I was like, Menace, Warrior. And
Yeah.
for me, I
Tilk
think
running,
it's
sold
Warrior.
Still
Yeah.
running. He runs so fast.
Jomo Sekou.
Like so fast, real
Yeah.
fast.
Old mate who was in a show that I'm not allowed to talk about, being
The Mummy.
Yeah, love it. Love me some Warrior.
Yeah, and the whole P90 thing.
P90
Like,
stuff.
we've gone on about that a lot.
Yeah, the whole weapon of terror. It really sells the
Yeah.
fact why we're kicking the Jafar's
The
ass
butt.
every time we go out there.
Yeah.
Love
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it is great.
And you know, you guys know me. I'm not a fan of gun porn, but I love all that P90 scene.
Yeah, because it's not completely gun porn. It's like it explains why, and there's a lot of speaking in that role. It's like, all right, now Carter, this is why we kill it. Go the woman, and it's like, yeah, bro, even
Yeah.
women can kick your ass.
Because it's like we're the
That's what we're
fifth
trying to
member of
say.
SG1, so it's like they're not just showing how good the guns are; they're showing how good SG1 are, and
Yeah.
we're a
Yeah,
part
yeah,
of
yeah.
that. Like that's our team.
Like,
yeah.
Carter
Carter-
fifth race.
That's it.
Carter is the boss
Yeah,
in
Yeah.
that scene.
Boom.
So sick.
Owns it. Bring back old mate from Bloody Emancipation. Just showing what she can do.
Yeah,
yeah.
a woman.
My seventh best, Menace. Then the Warrior. Enemies, Summit and Last Stand. My top 3, Beast of Burden,
Wow.
Whoa.
Revelations, and Wormhole Extreme.
Oh, nice.
That's respectable.
Yeah.
Except for Beast of Burden, I don't.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love the whole backstory of the Unas and the history of them on that planet. How it was all, they had that previous war, and they had to go in and
Captured your
save them
imagination.
and-
So where did you? Do you remember where you put first ones from last season?
Fifth.
Oh yeah, that's not too bad then.
First
Yeah.
one's is way better.
Yeah, I'd take first ones over Beast of Burden any
Yeah.
day of the week.
What was your 7th one?
Menace.
Is that because it's Rhys made you wrong?
yeah,
Is it thorn in your side?
Got a bit of a chip on my shoulder about that one.
Great episode, but goddamn that fucking Daniel. All right, for me, top 7. Fifth Man, The Warrior. 5 is Revelations. 4, 2001. Top 3, number 3, Wormhole Extreme. Number 2, Summit and Last Stand.
Wow.
And number 1 for me of the season is Menace. Love it. Love me some Android. Love me some
Yeah.
gun porn. Love me some Daniel Jackson crying and Jack be like, deal with it. And then,
Yeah, wait.
Replicators.
yeah.
There's a reason you introduced those sound bites in season 1.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I just remember
it's
it
clearly like,
vividly.
yeah, in your mind quite
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Surprised with Summit and Last Stand.
I just love the whole Daniel
good.
Jackson bit, like with the...
Yeah.
that for me sticks out the most when he's there and you're finding out so much about the Goa'uld and what the System Lords and...
That's what sticks out for me is all the system lords come together. You get to meet all of them. You get to understand the whole war. You
Yeah.
know, who's versus who and who's powerful and who's just a player and
just
blah blah
you.
blah.
Yeah, in terms of like, the Goa'uld political structure, it's much more interesting than like Fair Game back when we're like signing the treaty with them and stuff like that. It's
Yeah, I
definitely
think, you
way
just-
better than that.
You get to put a face to all the names that you've been hearing. And it's like, okay, now the war's real because, this is all the people that are fighting. And you can see how...
It's just a shame you don't see any more of them except for Baal and you.
Yeah, Osiris and...
I
she's
just
not in
been of the
out
seven.
of the rest
yeah.
of them, yeah.
All right, number 7, 48 Hours.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, actually, I don't like not having Teal'c, but I like a lot of this, and some of these are probably out of places that are
The
going to be
suck on a
controversial,
lemon
but
scenes,
yeah.
some of the greats.
good.
I just the very Stargate, the broadness of the story where you've got the arsehole guy from the government, and you've got the Gould bloke that's being held captive, and then you've got McKay being introduced as this guy who's been working on it from afar.
Daniel speaking Russian.
Daniel in Russia, Teal'c trapped within this ancient piece of technology. Like there's a lot of shit going on. 2001. Now, when I got to admit, when I first wrote this list down, this was number 1 because I thought it was 2010.
Fair call.
And I'm like, hang on, I'll just double check. And I'm like,
definitely not as good as 2010.
no.
But,
Yeah.
So I dropped
still
it down, but it is fun.
But it is up there because of 2010.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Because you got that tension, like, are they going to make the same mistakes, but just like a year or two later?
And it's not technically time travel, but it kind of is.
Yeah, it's cool. It's
Yeah.
a nice way of telling the story. And I know, re-listening back to the podcast recently about our argument whether or not her Carter's once husband, was he redeemed? Did he need to be redeemed because he wasn't a villain in this timeline? Blah, 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 blah. It was a big thing, so that was fun. Revelations, I know we spoke about it last week, and I said like it was a season finale that felt a little bit anticlimactic in a way, but at the same time, there was a lot of cool shit going on.
Yeah,
like you've got
a lot
the
of cool
Asgard, you've
Asgard
got
shit.
Anubis, like it's all happening. Meridian, for obvious reasons, I guess, with Daniel there. This one, no one else's top, and I was surprised. I think it almost just fell into this place. I really like Threshold. I actually love Teal'c's backstory. I like going back and exploring about
that was the best bit.
The questions that he raised along the way, and what made him the warrior that he is, what made him take sacrifices, the old sacrifices that he first made, and the fact that he didn't believe in Apophis before we knew that, and then he still had to go back and work with him. I like all that about Teal'c.
I just didn't like that he was just strapped to a bed most of the other time.
Yeah,
That's the downside.
Yeah, it's when I think about that, and I'm like, that episode wasn't that great. But then I think about all the different moments, him and Braytek in the snow, like learning to training. I thought, that was.
And I think to boot, it was Cooper that made him brainwashed.
Yeah.
So
it
was just like, ugh.
Yeah, for me it's like
brainwashed.
For me it's like I wish like Braytek had actually taken him out to the snow and like kicked his ass to break the brainwashing.
That would have been cool. Yeah.
Not that it was just a
almost
memory.
to tie it back like that. To have that scene set in the past and then to take him back to that place where he was first trained.
Yeah.
I do like the flashback stuff.
Yeah,
I reckon brainwashing would have been okay if you saw him getting brainwashed. If they had a great way of doing that, showing the process.
Bring in the mule.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see how they break him. Yeah.
Number 2, Menace. Obviously, we finally get the Rhys, your father made you wrong, but even just the idea of the replicators, all that sort of gear. And in some ways, the most Stargate-y type episode, it's a bit of a cop-out because it's a double up. It's Summit and Last Stand. I wouldn't have thought that when I watched it, but just once it come to that place, I'm like, you know what? We get the Anubis teasers. We get all those system lords there in the one place. It's setting up a lot of what's to come. Baal as well. Like it's a very Stargate-y episode. So
yeah,
love it.
Daniel, that was my number 2. Nice.
All right, well, let's play this little short intermission. We'll do some sums and come back with our bottom 3 and top 3. What will they be? Find out right after these messages.
Have you ever wanted to kill a lot of Goa'uld, but your ex-girlfriend's on board? Kill her anyway.
Don't think about it. Just press that button.
Press that button.
Remember, she broke up with you.
Has your Asgard sex clone copper pounding? Come to Bohr's Asgard Wash. We'll jam a high-pressure washer in whatever orifice you like. All for the low price of 3 yellow ones.
All right, we have our bottom 3 and top 3 episodes of Season 5 according to our collective scores.
It's a throwback, but give it to me.
Oh, welcome back. See, look, and
Welcome back.
Individually, we might not agree with where these fall, but this is what it is according to the show. Love it or leave it.
Democracy at its finest.
Absolutely. This is why we disagree with democracy sometimes, but it's the best system
This
we
is
got.
the episode when we mostly needed the spreadsheet, and it's not in.
How ironic.
Well, don't shit on a good thing, mate.
I loved it. I love it.
I just haven't had time. And it was mostly a gimmick just to tease Rhys and Maddie.
You say Rhys and Maddie, but really it's just Maddie.
You threw Rhys' name in there for no reason.
Just to make Maddie.
Well, go back and listen. Rhys was hammering me more than you about the spreadsheet. Great spreadsheet, by the way. Great people at Excel.
They want to sponsor the show, and they
Bill
they
Gates
can't. They're
can
broke.
jump on board.
So we'll start with our, obviously,
Get into Gate.
bottom
.com.
Gmail.com.
bottom episodes of the season so we can get to the good stuff. Our bottom 3. We'll start with the third worst of the season, according to the stats and the numbers. The Sentinel. And we
Yeah.
said this only a
Lower.
couple of weeks ago when we
Yeah.
did it. We just thought, we said, look, this is a nothing episode. Nothing goes on. It's boring. I think to
That's,
quote Matty Gibson.
I
do it
I think
shit.
the Sentinel's
That was
done a full Bradbury there,
Yeah.
but to get itself out of lowest place.
Well, we got Cassandra to come.
Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, not yet.
Any other
for her. The second worst episode of the season is Creepy Stalker Guy, Ascension.
Ascension.
Yeah.
And then
Fair
in
call.
last place is Creepy Adopted Daughter, Rite of Passage,
Rite of
with
Passage.
Cassandra.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
So
She
those-
needed to go to Bunnies because she broke that light bulb.
Yeah, should have fixed that, doll.
Yeah.
She was trying to get a sausage, but her mum was cock blocking it.
You mean snag blocking?
She wanted extra onion on that.
In fairness, Cassandra, in turn, cock blocked
Yeah.
Doc Fraser from getting on with Daniel. We
That's
read
true.
between
Oh,
lines of the
yeah.
episode.
Yeah, but see, then there was also that weird sort of, lesbianic vibe between her and Carter.
No, I never got
cutting the
that.
cake. Really?
No.
Carter was dressed exactly like my grade 2 primary school teacher who was a lesbian.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh yeah. Why didn't you tell us? You would've told
we
us
didn't
that.
have that backstory.
All right, and our top 3 episodes of Season 5 of Stargate SG-1. Number 3, Summit and Last Stand.
Oh.
Solid.
Two-parter. I mean, it had twice as
Two
much
at number
chances of
3.
getting into the into the top
Yeah,
spot.
absolutely.
Well,
Lot
I mean,
going on.
based on, previous two-parters, not really, because the two-parters have always let us down. I mean, look
Yeah.
at Jean Memories, Devil You
God.
Know.
Yep.
One always better than the other.
Yep,
Yeah,
for sure.
they spent all the budget in one of them. Whereas this
And then
one,
Cooper.
yeah, bloody Cooper.
Well, this is the same story, wasn't it? It was Joe and Paul, and then Cooper comes in at the last minute.
Yeah.
And
Goes,
ruins it.
oh, let's spend all our money on a ship crash.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And then
now I remember
Elliot-
that. Can I
Yeah,
change
see?
mine?
See,
Going
here's the
full
thing. When
Miles
you,
Dyson.
I was going to mention it, but it's like when all you guys were mentioning Summit and Last Stand, all you talked about was the Daniel stuff.
Yeah.
No one mentioned the...
It's mainly Summit.
Yeah.
Summit got it over the line.
No one
Doing
mentioned
the
all
heavy
the...
lifting.
God, I've forgotten his name again. The guy from Proving Ground, that
Elliot.
Elliot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the
Yeah, I mean,
All
that
the
was
times he fell down.
tunnel
injured.
stuff and the
like, yeah.
Starship
Joe
crash.
and Paul getting Cooper over the line again.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Cooper cashing in on the Joe and Paul show.
Season 2 for Joe and Paul.
Eminem.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Number 2 for the season. Our most recent episode, Revelations.
Wow, that's a revelation,
Yeah.
Mitch.
It actually is. I
Well-
never would have thought that. When I watched this last week, I thought, I mean, it was in
Number
my
2.
top 7, but I
Look,
did not
I'd-
think that it would be in our top 3, let alone top 2.
I don't want to
app.
insult Michael Shanks by saying the first episode that doesn't have him in it made it into our top 3.
Yeah.
No,
But
Well, he
that's-
was in it. He was
so,
Thor.
yeah, I didn't bring it up, but he still did the voice of Thor, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, he's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still the voice of Thor, but... he
That
wasn't
feels
physically
weird,
in
though,
it.
right? That almost feels like you quit your job and you storm out because you won the lottery. Hey, f- you guys, thumbs, and then you have to come back the next day and pick up your jacket that you left the week before.
No,
Ah.
they did him out of order, remember? They filmed Revelations
true.
first,
That's
and then
true.
Meridian was his last episode, then he pieced out.
Yeah.
Still on
Number
the contract.
1, that only leaves this.
Rhys, your father made you wrong!
Menace is our number 1
But he-
episode of season 5. Yeah.
Father made him wrong, but he made a good episode.
Who would have thought that?
Yeah,
honestly,
baby.
we finally
You
got
are
to that
Me, I did.
episode,
You are
and
You're
Rhys is,
kidding me.
Rhys is like, okay, now I get it. I've seen the episode now, and it just so happens that, we didn't sit there as the three of us away from you, Rhys, and plan it just to rub it in more, but hardly enough. Yeah,
How
it
did Wormhole
appears.
Extreme not make it?
That was your
That
top.
was
In
an
fairness, it
awesome
was in
episode.
my middle, and it was also in Maddie's middle. So
Yeah,
just
made number
fell
3 for
short.
me.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Wait till you get to 200, mate.
You'll
You'll
hate
see
it.
some good gear.
Fucking hate
It's
it.
ages away.
Yeah.
It's 2.5 years away.
We're halfway to it. So.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird when we get to that, we'll be more than 5 years in because we would have started Atlantis.
Wow, yeah, that's true.
Jesus.
God, I'll be 40 by then. Jesus.
Jesus.
Good group, though. Let's keep it going.
All right.
find a new show. Sorry, wives and girlfriends.
They're sick of us anyway, mate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in fairness.
All right, well, we've had a rank, so I guess we better...
Have a
Empty
tug and
our
empty our
bags.
mailbag.
I feel like this is our version of doing it in the wrong order. We should have a full mailbag and then have a rank, because that's what you'd do
Yeah.
When you have a rank, to empty your mailbag.
Ah, good call.
Yeah, you
see?
can't empty
You
your
gotta
mailbag
earn-
without a rank.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
to earn it
It's true.
by having a rank.
You can't empty your bag before ranking.
Yeah.
Unless you're
Doesn't
asleep
work.
sometimes, but, you know.
Unless there's some kind of extra port, like a drippage, like a bung from an esky or something like that.
Yeah.
It's the only way that's going to happen. So, it's time for the Get Into Geek
Hairy Mailbag
special.
End of season.
Second half
End of
of
season.
the rank
Do we count
episode.
this season? It's
Emptying the
in 5
bag.
wrap-up at Mailbag
Harry.
as
We've
well.
got heaps of stuff, so let's just
Hairy
get
sack.
to it.
Guys, I got a heap of iTunes reviews here.
Holy cow, you guys have gone nuts, and we love you for it. Thank you so much.
It's so good. I think it's
It's just said it. You said it's
3.
so dead bit. That's so good. I'm fucking excited.
no, it's just
How else does
as
Brendan
I
say
as I
things?
said that, I kind of gave up and was counting. All right, let's start it off, guys.
Let's do it.
Let's do
General Hammond Forever 5-star review from Drucifer Jones
Hammond forever.
from the US of A. 5 stars. You won't find a better Stargate podcast, even if you look across the universe.
it. Oh,
yeah.
Across the universe.
Across the universe.
Oh, look at this.
Oh,
Each of the
hey.
pots and pans. Well done, buddy.
Fiddle fingers.
Pushing the buttons. Good on you, Drucifer.
Drucifer. What
Legend.
a champion.
On you,
Thanks,
Jonesy.
mate.
So, Drucifer, your Australian nickname is Jonesy, so go to work with that.
I reckon, yeah. Yep.
Checks out.
And
No, fair enough.
And look, anyone else out there that wants to know theirs, just put an O or a Y at the end
I
of your
think,
name.
like, Drucifer is it's a pretty good nickname.
Yeah, but
Is it his nickname?
what you should do is
Don't
come
ass-
with us.
Don't
Is come
assume.
to us as Drew, and we'll call you Drucifer. If you
Yeah.
come with
Yeah.
us, if you come to us with a nickname, we're just
Yeah.
gonna give you a different nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm
Drucy.
gonna shorten your name to Drew. That's your nickname now.
Yeah, your nickname's Drew.
My uncle was like that. My grandparents, when my uncle was born, they wanted to call him like a version of John, but they said let's not call him John because everyone's going to call him Johnny. Let's just call him Johnny. I didn't find that out until after he died, and his gravestone read Johnny, and I'm like, what
Really?
the hell?
This is
Why would you
rude.
write his nickname on his gravestone? They're like, no, that was his birth certificate given name, and I'm like, all right,
Right.
what did I call him? What did everyone call him? John.
Wow.
Really?
His name is Johnny. Everyone's like, no. You don't tell us what you call him.
Yeah.
We'll tell you what we call him. We're going to shorten that.
Johnny O.
Oh, a John boy.
It's like Meg from Family Guy, where Meg's actually short for Megatron.
Is it really?
It is.
Shut up, Megatron.
That's
Yeah.
great.
It sounds like something that we would do if we had daughters, maybe.
All right, next.
Number 2. Amazing laid back podcast. 5 stars from the one and only Rob Kerrigan from the UK.
Oh, Kero,
Robbo.
Rob Dog, the big Rob Dog.
the gangster.
Bloody funny bloke too.
Kerry, what's happening?
Kero.
Yeah.
Kero.
5 stars. Such a great podcast and crew. If you can get past the accent. Oi.
Oh, hang on.
Whoa.
I'm glad.
Coming from the bloody motherland, mate.
You're right.
You're right.
I'm glad we allowed the colonies to have the technology to give us a week-by-week show about an arguably best sci-fi show.
Yeah.
No one's arguing, mate.
See, look,
No.
ship all your prisoners off to an island somewhere, and 200 years later, what do you get? A Stargate podcast. I mean, talk about the butterfly effect.
Hoping one day they will also start with Battlestar Galactica.
Not a bad idea. I would like to finish that series.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
How long
Mitch, you could say that about 40 different shows that I'd like to finish that series.
Okay, it
Gotta
wasn't
start
about me.
'em first.
Gotta start.
I would like to really start that show. I've watched one season. What did it go for? 4?
4.
Wow.
Only 2 good ones, though.
Battlestar
Okay.
went for 4.
Yeah.
Right.
First two are good, then it gets pretty average.
Yeah.
Gets a bit preachy and gaudy.
I'll just do one last one for this first bit. Give you guys a go.
If you want.
Sure.
Hysterical 5-star review here from Blue Conlon from Canada.
Oh, you're my boy.
You're my boy, Blue.
Bet you it's the first time you heard that one, isn't it, Blue?
Yeah.
The funniest
Bluey.
Stargate podcast. I look unstable as I laugh for no apparent reasons on my walk to work while listening.
Well, mission accomplished
Thanks,
for us
Blue.
then. That's basically.
Oh
the
yeah, we
reason
want people to
do
look
this.
unstable.
No, we want people
Yeah.
to join us because we are unstable.
Absolutely.
You are getting the looks that we get just walking down the street.
Mm,
You know, when you're laughing
Or
being
arriving
unstable.
home.
Sure.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
you know.
absolutely.
I mean, I live alone, but
I
that's
remember
okay.
once Mitch and I were with the crew in somewhere in Europe,
Mm.
and there was a bunch of people on the train, and we were so loud that they were blocking their ears, like for the whole ride. Like, literally
real?
hands on their
It's
ears.
probably Rob Kerrigan.
I mean, I've tried to
Those
do that. in
bloody
this
accents.
I've
Look
tried
what
to-
they've done with our language.
I've tried to do the same thing in this podcast, and I forget that I'm wearing headphones. So putting my ears
Yeah.
just doesn't
Doesn't
work.
Makes
work.
it louder.
Yeah, doesn't work. All right. Well, I've got an email here from Rebecca Kirsten.
Baxter.
Becky. It says, "Hey guys, love listening to the show every week. It helps me get through my 5 a.m. start at work, especially in the current gloomy weather of Edinburgh."
Oh, how do you...
You're right.
Hello.
Oh, hello,
How did you
Shaq
say?
Fancy Donkey.
Edinburgh.
Yeah, where is that? Edinburgh.
Scotland.
Edinburgh.
Scotland.
Where is it? In Scotland.
Scotland. Aye.
Yeah, we are.
Shrek Farty Donkey.
Where is Edinburgh?
Shrek.
It's only the
I
capital,
couldn't
mate.
remember. Yeah,
It's only the capital of the world.
It's only the capital.
I've been a fan.
Awesome.
I've been a fan of Stargate for a good 15 years now, and I'm going to be getting a Stargate-themed tattoo
Oh,
Ooh.
yes.
in the
Love it.
upcoming months. I haven't completely decided what I'm getting yet, so wanted to know if you guys
Oh, we
have
get to
any,
choose.
any good ideas
yeah.
of what would make some good Stargate ink. Keep up the good work, Rebecca.
Just get Cassandra's name.
Yeah.
No, get like a full back tat of her face.
I like
Just-
Mitch's idea of the...
You know, like Steve-O got a big tattoo of,
Of
himself on his back.
Yeah.
Just get, just her throwing the double thumbs
Yeah.
with like
Yeah.
the little chess piece just spinning in the corner.
Yeah. I don't think anyone would get that.
No, definitely not.
No.
You'd be committed.
What were those plant dudes' names? What was that episode?
One false step.
Yeah, I like Mitch's idea from One False Step. Just get a tattoo of those alien dudes' dick in the ground.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Oh.
Was that my idea?
I've
Get
got
it, get it as a tramp
Is that
stamp.
my
So they're
idea?
What was I on?
get it as a tramp stamp. So they're f***ing your ass crack. Like
Jesus Christ.
it's right there. Hey,
Especially if
Holy
you're going to hairy ass.
shit.
Right? Speaking of that.
Yeah, you don't want any green discharge, but
No. You don't want
Nah, a
that.
popular one I think is like the Earth home symbol.
yeah.
Obviously.
I've seen someone got the entire address down their forearm, like
Yeah,
all 7
nice.
symbols.
Actually, I've noticed that they always put our home address, but then they put our point of origin on it, which doesn't make sense because you're never going to dial
Yeah,
Earth
that's
with the point
true.
of origin, so they kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, spewing for you.
would it be too cliche to go maybe like your favorite
Just advertise it.
Gua Wild symbol? Like go a Hathor. Like just go a Hathor on your bicep.
God,
That's
yeah.
no one's
On your
favourite,
bicep.
mate.
No, I remember how she
Who
had
are
that
you
cool
kidding?
symbol where it was like the circle with the blades up either side. Remember Hathor's logo?
Yeah, I think
Right.
Baal's is the coolest.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Coolest looking.
Anubis is a bit iffy.
Yeah,
It's not
Anubis
good.
is not
It's
cool.
okay, like on an arm, but on a forehead, it's like lopsided because the
Yeah.
ears are on one side. So that doesn't make any sense.
You get
Or Ra would be cool.
you get Thor
Yeah.
holding a lightsaber. That'd be sweet.
That would be sweet.
It would actually be really sweet.
I mean, Rebecca, there's a treasure trove of legitimate ideas for you right there. Surely,
Who's that?
that was Rebecca.
Rebecca, thanks,
Thanks,
Beck.
Beck.
Thanks,
Beckstar.
Becca.
Beckstar.
Curso.
We get a James Clark, also out of the UK. A lot of UK.
You're right.
Roy.
Listen.
Cup of tea and a muffin.
Now, we did actually receive this before Meridian, before Rhys knew what Meridian was about. So it was interesting for you to be answering this in hindsight. But what he did write initially was, hey, guys, great work with the podcast. I'm plowing through to catch up with you guys. Just listen to you pull apart Out of Mind. And although it will sound unpopular, whenever you're debating, I find myself agreeing with Matty a lot.
Oh, fiddly potatoes. Welcome, James.
My questions are, what
Did you
is
say Ireland?
what is Rhys's favourite Teal'c moment over the first 5 seasons? And if he had to pick a member of the team to get rid of, who would he pick? Now, he wrote this before you knew that Daniel was out anyway.
As by team, does he mean SG1? I guess he.
Oh, Jesus. You know what?
Or our
I was
team.
only assuming. I was only assuming.
I was thinking of like anyone from the SGC because
Yeah,
like,
okay.
Doc
Oh, right.
Fraser
Oh, I
for
thought you
sure.
were talking about
Yeah,
this
I thought you were
team.
talking about getting the
Matty
game.
easy. No, Doc Fraser easy, but yeah, look, Daniel. If Daniel's dead, like yeah, best one to die, I reckon. But no, favourite tilt
How
moment.
dare you? How
Just because you got glasses.
dare you?
Look, you can't get rid of O'Neill, can't get rid of Tilk, obviously, can't get rid of Carter.
Well, guess you'll find out.
So it's a process of elimination.
Can't
Look,
wait for Meridian 2.
favorite Tilk moment. Oh Jesus, so many. I love the one where he tells that bloody is it
Area
Simmons how he's like, in my culture I would kill you where you sit or something.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That was awesome.
Be within my right to kill you where you stand.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. Yeah.
The one where he says I am well within my right to dismember you.
Yeah, Area 51.
Yeah, and like over the shoulder staff blast.
In the first
Ones.
Yeah, first one's Mitch.
Just everything.
Have you-
It's a
cool.
pretty good moment.
Seen it
You should check it out.
years ago. 48 hours, he had a big cannon. You know, took down Tanith.
Yeah. Smashed. Yeah, as Lincoln said, smashed him right in the cockpit. Yeah, I think that's the reason I love Teal'c. He's just badass.
Sculling the coffee was good. It's always a good memory from Ergo.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Extremely.
Absolutely.
Thank you, James.
I've got a fairly recent one here. Someone got in touch with me over Twitter, which is weird because I'm not usually on there a lot. Philip.
Well, you didn't want to
Philip.
practice before you started reading.
You picked, mate.
Philip.
I did not plan this out well.
Where's he from?
Philip Smerezniak on Twitter,
No,
what?
at
trust it.
Phil Smerezniak, says, contacted me, said, at High Pitch Matty, are you the Star Trek fan on Get Into Gate? Said, yes, I was. Just started listening to the show this week up to season 2. I keep biting my tongue to not mention Trek, but I learned of your show through a Facebook subgroup related to a Trek podcast. # Greatest Generation.
How'd that happen? Great people.
I guess
Matty's sliding into Star Trek DMs.
unlike unlike the general consensus in this room, I guess there are some overlap of Star Trek and Stargate fans.
Nah, you're dreaming.
Tell me you're allowed to talk Trek once Trek actors show up.
Yeah, 3 times.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Per
did
episode, that's a lot.
did let him know. I did let him know that he's got the box of shame to look forward to
Yeah,
for season 4.
good point.
He also does say, "P.S. The show is hilarious and makes me want to go back to Sydney. It's been like 15 years. So thank you,
We're in
Phil.
Brisbane.
Australia's
I think he just
Australia,
means
mate.
he's been
Same
to
shit.
Australia.
Same
You
shit.
know.
You can
Oh,
walk
we
there.
got kangaroos.
It's all
It's all
beaches and kangaroo
And
everywhere.
dingoes.
So it's fine.
Watch out, the dingo will take your fucking child.
You know what? I was doing
Just us.
I was doing my job at traffic, reporting the traffic, and this,
What do you do?
And this report came in of a cassowary.
Yeah, great bird.
Cassowary
If you want to sponsor the show,
in
you get in
In bloody-
contact, cassowary.
in Rocklea.
What happened?
A cassowary in Rocklea. People reckon they spotted it, and I'm like, that's got to be a stitch up. Someone's
And
just
that's in traffic.
someone's
Well, it's holding up
running
traffic,
around it's
so-
running around the road. But a cassowary, that's like the most dangerous bird ever.
It's like
that
a
big angry one,
big
like the
emu
blue
with a
and-
big
blue and
cock
red?
on its head. Yeah,
Yeah, but it's got sharp claws and it'll rip your fucking throat out.
yep.
So
Good
yeah, that's-
chat.
fucking wish you guys knew what a
Cassowary.
cassowary was.
Yeah, it's
do,
a
it's that-
big emu thing with the cock on its head. I
yeah,
just
it's got
said
the
that.
it's got the blue neck and the big
Yeah.
Don't know
pendulous
how
balls.
dangerous it
from
is.
its
Or...
necks.
No.
Yeah,
Never seen one in real life.
I have. Go to bloody Lone Pine for once in your life.
Oh, just go to Rocklea, mate. Just go to Rocklea. You'll see him wandering around wild.
Apparently.
We got, at Acklys. How do you pronounce
Nice.
ACLYS? Acklys 1025. Acklys? At Get Into Geek, halfway through season 3 on the podcast, into season 4 on my current rewatch. Love the show. Can't wait to get caught up. Also, SGU was the shit, yo. If you guys do Atlantis, you should do Universe.
I think so.
Oh, yeah, we'll do Universe.
It's only 2 seasons. We'll knock that out in a couple of months.
Like Universe to me was terrible until Origins came out, and then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, geez, Universe was genius
yeah.
compared to that piece of shit.
I'm the same with Discovery. It's like now that Discovery's come out, I'm like, oh, I guess Enterprise wasn't that bad after all.
Yeah, I started
And
watching
I was
that.
I was so harsh on Enterprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got one here from Damo Edwards.
Damo.
Bloody
Damo,
great bloke,
you big
Damo.
shagger.
Great friend of the show. He it goes back to Summit Last Stand when we did. Has Rhys been paying attention?
Oh, yeah.
And one of the questions there was who was the newest member or who was the newest system lord?
Yeah, Anubis. Nailed it.
Anubis.
You got it.
Apparently, Brennan thought he already was. Damo says, I agree with you Rhys,
Of course he does. He loves you.
the deal was Anubis had to destroy Earth before he wants to be recognised as a system lord. Sorry, Brendan. Sorry, the Bren Gibson.
Don't be sorry, mate.
We will grant you a seat on the council, but not the rank of master.
That wasn't true.
It's a Star Wars reference.
That was absolutely... Have you gone back and watched that episode?
I have actually. Mitch, you want to play some audio here?
Oh, it looks like Brendan's gone back and done 4 months worth of research.
I saw Rhys post this and I'm like, well, I can't cop that. I can't remember what
Who
this
among
is.
us accepts the return of Anubis to the system lord?
So this is where they're going to vote.
They're all nodding and
They're all nodding here.
putting
So
their
we got
fists
1,
together.
Yeah, it was
2,
prior to this.
3, 4. No, this is the vote.
Yeah, I get
6,
it.
7.
Yeah, they're voting.
The vote need not be unanimous.
It's everyone except
You
for
said
you.
no.
By a
with an
count of
asterisk.
6
Listen.
to 1, Anubis is awarded the state of system lord and welcomed back among those that lead the Goa'uld.
Mic drop.
Osiris will be allowed to vote on his behalf.
You shall not regret this.
Shall not regret this.
May we rule forever. There is much to discuss in that regard.
You better shut up.
First,
We're going to eat some
Loco.
steak dick.
Allah.
Yeah, there's an asterisk on that vote. If you
Shaman.
rewind from there... I'll get the audio.
No, there's not, mate. Because later on it says, well, what are you going to do now that you're a system lord? And-
I would, based on that little bit there, I'd have to agree with Brendan that that is say on a vote of 6 to 1, you are granted the
The rank.
the rank of
Oh, look,
system lord.
I'm sure the writers have just shot themselves in the foot. But what I'm saying is, if you go back, it says we will destroy Earth before we become a system lord.
It doesn't say that at
Oh.
all.
I think
Well, me and Damo
she says
say it
after
does.
that, I will. Anubis has already taken strides into destroying one of your greatest foes, the Tok'ra.
Yeah. I
Because they
think
destroy the Tok'ra.
I think Rhys is right in that they said, look, for us to accept you, you have to defeat the Tari.
No, they never once said that.
Yes, Osiris said
I think there
in
was a
order to-
line in there.
he wants to be a system lord and he'll defeat the
Tok'ra.
Tari.
No, Tok'ra. He says Tok'ra.
All right,
Okay.
I'll show you, mate. I'll go home and watch it.
Okay.
Because there was definitely like
He's the system lord. You
yeah,
just
I feel
heard
like
it.
there was an asterisk where they said, look, before you can become a system lord, you have to defeat insert species starting with T here,
Yeah.
whoever it may be. And then they were like, yep, cool, sweet, we'll do that. And they were like, okay, you don't have to do it right now, but as long as you agree to do that, we'll vote. And they voted, and 6 to 1.
Yeah,
he's a
because I
system
believe
lord.
it was after that she goes, we have no reason to do anything, but just so you know, we're killing the Tok'ra right now. They're dust. So
Yeah, nice.
go get now the ball's in your court, Rhys.
Oh, feed me, mate. I'll love it.
I have an email from one Daniel Pucci.
Oh, here we
Pooch.
go. Pooch dog.
This came in on Christmas Eve. Dan says, Merry Christmas, you handsome motherfuckers. Hope you're all having a good one. For some reason, these Brazilian suckers celebrate the day of Xmas on the 24th.
Yeah,
that was a thing.
that's pretty standard in
Is it?
a lot of countries. Yeah,
Oh, I
on
nev-
the night,
I never knew
Christmas
that.
Eve, they do that in Czech when we were there.
Oh, really?
Jesus comes and delivers the presents and rings the bell, and then you come downstairs in your full dress, you open presents and eat dinner and drink.
How much of that's a joke and how much of that's
No,
real?
It's all true.
Jesus delivers presents.
In Czech, yeah. There's
Wow.
no Santa Claus.
No, he's got
Far
more.
out.
He's got more jobs when he's
Yeah,
international.
even though the communism for like 50 years, but then they still believe
Yeah.
in Jesus.
Came
There's no
downstairs
religion.
and opened their presents and it was potato.
And coal.
Yeah, he says, I'll fill you in once I've worked it out. I'm charging my tricorder now. Guess you don't have to, mate. Brendan's just solved it for you. Take it easy. P.S. Here's a generic Brazilian Christmas image I copied from Google Images. And it was a Santa next to a giant Jesuso. Also, P.S. PPS? PSS? This is all in the email. No, I think it's PPS. You all like Groundhog Day app of SG1, want to get your mind blown? I've just discovered a book called The First 15 Lives of Harry August by Claire North. Well worth a read. I've only read to chapter 26 so far, so it could turn out to be total shit. Later, taters, Daniel Puchinski, apparently, because we've given him the name Puchinski.
Yeah.
I fucking love the pooch.
He's awesome. Thank you, Dan.
Love it.
Well done, mate.
Puchinski.
Puchinski.
Out.
Speaking of a pooch, We've got a tweet here from Bailey.
Biles.
He's a dog.
What?
Doggy do.
The dog. At
Bailey
Bailey Doggo.
How do you tweet without thumbs?
Well, he's a fucking smart dog, mate.
Must be.
The nose.
He
You
says,
can use your nose.
Dad loves Stargate. He's just... Should I do the dog voice?
No. I prefer you didn't.
He's just discovered
doggist.
Get Into Gate and has been walking around the apartment giggling for hours.
Oh.
Thanks, Bailey.
so
I
great.
hope Bailey's doing that
So-
cute little dog. You mean dogs just kind of turn their head to the side and just cock one ear? It's like, whoa. I hope Bailey's doing that.
Say good day to your old man for us, Bailey. Sarah Mansell says,
Is that so? You reckon Bailey's owner is daddy, like Joz refers to himself?
I think the way Jaws refers to himself as daddy is very different.
I tell you what,
They're the
that's,
dog.
that's the
dog
first.
owner.
Dad.
That's the first
situation.
dog I've seen have a Twitter account. Usually they just stick to Instagram.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
hashtag, like, whatever breed they are of Instagram, you know, like Dachshunds of Instagram, hashtag German Shepherds of Instagram.
Yeah.
It's a big community out there, you know, for dogs.
maybe
Great
this one's
people.
got self-image problems.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
I'm guilty of putting a lot of photos of my dad's dogs on Instagram because I don't have a dog.
Mm.
But yeah, there's a
You
lot
got,
of...
you got your own place now, mate. You can get
I know,
one.
I'm totally going to get one because it's a dog park down the road. So I'm just waiting till I can afford it, and then I'm going to go and rescue
I need
one.
a reason to go there. Sandra Mansell says, I listened to Get Into Gate on the treadmill at the gym. One episode, I forget which, I had to pause the treadmill because I nearly fell off while laughing. Thankfully, I was all alone at the time because I'd have had some pretty weird looks from people as I giggle whilst on the treadmill.
Based on previous feedback, it's probably we're talking about shitting through the gate.
Hopefully.
Probably when that's happened.
I don't know. We're pretty hilarious in every episode.
I got one
Thanks,
here.
Sandra.
It's another iTunes review. It's 5 stars, but he's titled it 4.5 out of 5. Great show, god awful level balance. These guys are
Well,
great.
that's awkward.
So from Jamie DSK from the US of A.
Howdy.
These
Just aggressive Americans again. No, I'm kidding.
it's okay. You can say that because you're part American.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
fine.
Yeah, it's not racist.
These guys are great. Stargate is great. I agree with you so far. Let's wrap it up there. The sound level balancing between hosts is an embarrassment, though. Get it together, fellas.
I mean, Mitch is the professional radio man. What have you got to say?
Well,
And
okay,
the one in
yeah,
charge
look.
of the levels. What have you got to say about that?
I'm on Jamie's side
Let's
here,
start
guys.
here. Let's start
Me and
here.
Jamie versus the
I'm
rest
the
here.
radio guy. I'm not the professional radio guy. I don't press these buttons for a living. I stand behind the desk and I turn a saw and I whack us all up the same levels. Now, as we've come to learn, I talk loud, one, because I work in radio, but more importantly, I grew up with a deaf sister, and somehow as kids we figured yelling louder would make her hear us. Then we got old enough, like, I don't know, 17 or 18, we realised that wouldn't work
Yeah,
anymore.
they're like, floating sign language. We'll just yell.
Yeah, we'll just yell
17
louder.
or 18?
Yeah, you know, we're like, this really isn't catching on. She's like, guys, I'm 14. I've been telling you this since I could talk 12 years ago. We're like, no, we just thought you'd come around. It was a phase you were going through. Obviously, that's all a lie. But yeah, we're a loud family. We're always talking over the top of each other. We're always yelling now, working radio, so I'm a lot louder, and I like to ride the mic for some reason. You guys are normal. You're actually doing what we've come in here to do, and you sit behind the mic and we're having a conversation. Now, you're not Lincoln, who likes to sit back here and just go, how about that episode of
Right.
and forgetting
We
that
need
we're
to
actually
get-
at a radio station with microphones.
We need to get him one of those Gwen Stefani mics where it just
Yeah.
like comes down the side of his face and
Yeah.
he can just
Except
wander
half
around.
of it'll be like, oh, Rhys, check out this.
in the middle of a great point by Maddie or Brendan, Link will just whack out something on Instagram and go, oh, shit! I'm sorry if that peaked, Jamie. No, I am.
Shots fired!
No,
shots fired.
I agree with you. And the thing is, I work in a radio station. We've got many audio experts here that do a lot of editing and image producing. I still don't understand why we call audio work image producing. I guess it's the image of the radio station. Whatever. That's a different story.
Look,
for a
Jamie, I'm
different
on
day.
your side, mate. I've been telling Maddie and Brendan to speak into the microphone for
I
2.5
can't get
years
any
now.
closer than what I am.
Right.
Yeah, but speak louder.
No.
Like, speak like you're trying to tell people something, not like you're speaking to yourself
But
in
I-
your toilet.
I'm-
mate.
Shut up.
I'm talking and I can hear
Shut the
myself quite
up.
well in my ears.
Did you hear
I would
that,
say
Rhys?
I would say it's the guy over there with 4 like monitors in his face showing how high our voices are going.
That's fair
And
enough.
all the dials in front of him.
Yeah.
But I will agree. I think
Jesus.
we're,
Yeah, but
Maddie's been holding on to this a lot longer. I mean, you've got a lot of shit more than Jamie had. Okay, go on. I thought we were mates.
No,
Okay,
I
If that was
think-
his job, he'd be writing them the whole fucking episode. 'Cause
none of
you
us
guys
can-
start off talking like this to get the mic, and then you go down here because you start to think about some things, and
Yeah.
you start talking to yourself, and then that's it.
Well, okay.
Both y'all,
as it
not
stands,
me. I'm f***ing loud all the time.
I would say,
I've got-
back in like season 3, it was really, really bad. Maybe season 3, maybe season 4 was really
Oh,
bad.
dude, I went back and listened to season 1 and 2. I had to turn it off because it was pissing me off that much.
Yeah,
I couldn't listen.
I would say probably season 5. It's been a lot better,
Yeah.
but I know, like, and obviously a lot of the emails and stuff we're getting today and stuff has been people, new listeners that have actually going back and they're listening to the early stuff. There was definitely some bad ones down there.
I wonder where Jamie's up to. What season he's up to listening. Or she.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't assume gender.
That's right. I'm
But
not assuming.
it's pretty aggressive, so I imagine it's a female.
Oh, it's obviously.
I thought you were going to play it safe. I thought you were going to play it safe. It's aggressive. So obviously a guy because women are wonderful.
Yeah, I thought I'd flip the script on that.
Just when you think he's going to
Obviously,
zag,
it's
he zigs.
Yeah.
It's obviously joking.
No, look,
aggressive.
I do
Joking
agree with you, Jamie, man or woman or
Just Jamie.
She-man.
genderless. You know,
DSK could mean a lot of things.
sure.
Dick
As it
sucking.
stands on the levels, mine is so much lower than Maddie's. Reese is
Only
some of
today.
them- Yeah, only today. That's what I'm saying. As it stands, and I honestly don't know how it's all going to work out. Well, the thing is, right? So because I work in
Have
the
you got levels there?
yeah, it's all here. So
Yeah,
I've been
and
watching
you-
it,
you
right?
can
But the
see
thing
the
is,
So the big
spikes over
spikes
there.
is you, the little spikes is
Yeah.
me and
Thank
Maddie.
you very much.
Yeah.
No, the thing is, I've like brought myself so far down. But the thing is, as soon as someone else likes to jump in, it like spikes up. So I'm like bringing it down. I've been like
Can't you do
monitoring it.
individual microphones?
No, that's what I am doing. But then, for whatever reason, like, here's the thing. I work for a breakfast show. I come in the morning. I switch the desk over to the profile of the anchor who likes to use it, and I put all the levels up at an even sort of amount because that's how he rolls. I walk in after the show. All the levels are a similar level. Now he speaks probably.
He works with pros.
He is the pro. He works like at a mid-range level. He would speak. We got another guy mainly who would speak a lot louder. Another guy who speaks a little bit less, but he would be loud too. And then our female announcer who speaks very softly. But they all have the exact same level on the output, and the faders here.
I don't believe it.
No, neither do I. But I can honestly tell you that's exactly how it sits.
Well, that's what I used to do when I panelled. I'd put them all to where they need to be during the episode, and then at the end of the shift, I'd put them all back to the middle. Maybe that's just etiquette. Maybe that's just his
I
etiquette.
can guarantee you he doesn't do
No.
that. There's no way.
way.
He forgets to turn things on and off all the time. And
He
I
just
say
leaves
that with
them up
absolute
because
love.
now it's like Ash and Lutz like it's their responsibility to turn their own microphones on because he just kind of leaves the levels
Yeah, that's
up.
what that's what they prefer
Yeah.
to do is turn themselves on and off.
Yeah.
But he definitely wouldn't do that, and that's what I love about him.
Speak up, Mitch.
Thank you. look, I can see in the levels, and that's the thing because too, like we might be
And
sitting
then you
here-
edit it as well, so
Yeah,
it's like you
is-
can see there in the edit.
No, and but honestly,
Yeah,
Some
when-
parts are
fine.
lower.
is it I sit there and I'll be speaking and I can see the level and I'll be at a certain level and then all of us will laugh at something that one of us has said and we all just rah, and it gets so loud and it's like okay good. And most of us generally we do.
Jamie,
back off
don't you have a
from-
volume button, mate?
from the mic? But no, I
Do you know
totally
what I
agree because I
find?
listen to it now. In saying that, when I listen
I'm
to
riding
it,
that fader in the car. Like,
I'm driving
Do you
with one
know-
hand because
and-
one hand's on the
You know what I
volume.
found
Me
is
too.
if I listen to it with like earbuds in the car, I don't have to play with levels. But if I like Bluetooth it to my radio, like to my stereo in my car, and it's playing through the speakers, it's like if I'm talking, I've got to turn it up a little bit, and then someone else talking, I've got to turn it down a little. I've got to ride the levels more. But when it's in earbuds in my ear,
Well,
I never notice it, which I thought was really weird.
And that's the thing too. When I'm editing it, I can see the levels and whatnot. And obviously, I know that certain members of the team here speak a lot lower than others, quieter and whatnot. But it generally doesn't feel that bad when I'm editing. When I'm listening, whether or not I'm listening to it through the speakers on my laptop or I plug in some headphones.
What it is
generally
background noise when you're listening. Once you go to SoundCloud or whatever app, Spotify, and you start listening, if there's no background noise, like it's fine. If you're listening to it in an empty room, you'll hear everything.
But that's what I'm
But
saying.
if you're
like,
driving or if you're on a train or
Yeah.
people in the office, then you can't. There's some things that you just.
I
can't
do when because I listen to it obviously while I edit it and it sounds fine and then I upload it, sounds fine. I'll get all the edits, miss an F-bomb here every week and then listen to it on the way to
Sorry.
work the next day. I just want to sit back and listen to it without being able to edit it because then I can actually truly listen to it. I think and hear it differently and that's when I can hear the spikes. I'm like, why does this sound so horrible in my car? It's not that bad,
Yeah.
but it is much worse and what it is
Noticeable,
listening to
yeah.
it. Now, obviously, I'm doing it with the faders here, so I can't tell you for sure how this is going to sound when I go to edit. It could sound far worse because I'm overcompensating for the quiet talkers and the loud talkers in the room.
And to be honest, it's never felt that way in the room. It's like I think Brendan and I do like our headphones a little bit louder, so that might sort of compensate where we think we're at a right level, but.
Yeah,
So there's that disconnect between the microphone and the headphones.
and this does sound like a tradesman blaming his tools, but we are working in a studio at the moment where everyone except for me is working out of the same like feeder box for your headphones and mics and stuff, and it gets very confusing. And if I do my headphones up too loud, that affects yours, which makes no sense.
If
but
you bring yours down a little bit, we lose all
exactly,
audio in
and
our
so you're
ears and stuff.
overcompensating by speaking louder, or if you turn them up, you're speaking softer and all
Look,
that.
Jamie doesn't give a shit. Just fucking
No,
fix
I'm just
it.
saying because we.
But yeah, Jamie, we're aware of it and we're working on it.
That's all Jamie cares
Jamie's
about.
not the first person to
Look,
write in
still
about
got
it.
5 stars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I'm just saying,
Get it
like,
together, fellas.
I could sit there and
We'll
literally
get it together, mate.
edit
One
every
day.
single second of the
I
podcast,
don't
but
reckon we will.
it takes me
No.
like it's an hour podcast that takes
Say that
me
to move on.
a couple of hours to edit an hour podcast. If I sit down and go, I'm not doing anything for the next couple of hours, I will edit. I've never done that. In all 112 episodes plus specials, I've never, as a married father of 3 who works a lot of the day, is sit down and go, okay, for the next X amount of time, I'm going to do nothing except edit this podcast. That has never once been allowed to happen. I might try that. And anyone out there would know, I'm sure you try to do something for yourself and other shit will get in the way. But I could actually sit down there and go, okay, well, this 2 seconds, I'm going to bring up. These 2 seconds following, I'm going to bring down. And in the end, I'm going to just, like, once I've made, like, literally 300, 400, 500 cuts in an hour-long podcast, I'm going to render it all and level it all out the same. That honestly would take me days in the
Mate.
time that I've got to edit.
Come spend a night at my place. I can sit on the couch for 6 hours and nothing happens.
Why aren't you editing the podcast then?
I got another iTunes review here, mate. The only companion to a rewatch of Stargate you'll ever need. 5 stars by Jamie Z 005.
James?
JAAMEZ 005.
James.
That's not how you spell James in my book.
Don't assume his spelling.
Maybe it's Jamez.
Your father made you wrong.
James, you're one James, okay? You're James. You're not James, okay?
There's not 2 of you.
There's not 2 of you.
Obviously, I'm joking, James.
Obviously, I'm too. It's my middle name and I name my son James.
Yeah, me too.
And it's your dad, so...
Not my son, though.
You named Mitch's son James.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for that, by the
You're
way.
welcome.
I wish I could have been in the room.
It was a great day.
My wife tells me that all the time. Brendan was here. Where were you? You asshole.
5 stars by James 005 from the UK. You're right. I was waiting for that. If you're a Stargate fan and keen to rewatch or just hear an amazing group's opinions on each episode, then this is the podcast for you.
Oh, stop
Mitch
it.
edits the podcast. Doesn't worry about levels, though. And keeps
Doesn't say, yeah.
Oh, no, I added
Quality.
that bit. And keeps everything on track. Rhys is the reason we're here. For the first-time watcher whose father made him wrong. We all know that. Brendan is the quiz master and dick joke extraordinaire.
Yeah. You could
know
have just
what?
stopped at Dick.
It's going on your gravestone.
That's exactly what I want. I want it right on there.
We can only afford up to Dick. Brendan is the quizmaster and Dick.
Yeah,
No,
fair
they,
enough.
they mix it all around. Brendan is the dick master extraordinaire.
And the quiz joker. Maddie has all the analysis to even educate the most avid fan.
Oh, I love to analyse. I get all up in there.
An analyst.
Just anal all up in there.
Analysis.
Guest appearances from Link and Joz also make it this hilarious mix even better.
You should have probably mentioned the guy that owns a gun, but anyway.
Loving Craig's input. I added that too. Thanks, Craig. Can't recommend this enough. Have burned through nearly 100 episodes in just over a month. Well worth your time. Oh,
Jesus, that's
stop it.
It's like 3 a day.
Well,
Come
James,
on.
what a champion effort.
legend.
Loving it.
Welcome
well done.
aboard.
That's
Welcome
like,
aboard.
That's like Rhys levels of listening to us.
Funny you say that because I want to give a shout out to Chris Williams, who's one of our patrons.
Yeah.
And over this, since we've been filming, since we've been recording season 5, he is the most listened. He
Behind
has
you.
listened.
Oh.
No, in front of me.
Ah.
In front of me. Almost
Wow.
more than 100 plays in front of me.
Well, don't
Just
say that.
in this
Wow.
last 4 months.
Embarrassing.
It took me 2.5 weeks to listen to
No,
Menace.
good on him. Legend.
Like, we released Menace. I didn't listen to it for like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Not me. I would have listened to it at least 3 times in that amount of time. I'm a self-indulgent.
I've re-listened to Double Jeopardy a few times. I reckon that's probably our loosest podcast.
Is it?
When Joz was here and we're just talking about just the vinegar in the dick hole.
Vinegar stroke. Vinegar stroke.
Like, that's what it got to.
Even having been there, that still sounds like the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
So out of
Like
context.
we're talking about Stargate.
I've got a tweet for you from Mark Finney at Finn_bad. A couple of weeks ago, I posted a picture of Star Trek Voyager.
Oh, that's 3.
We haven't played the audio, so it doesn't count. My beloved Voyager premiered 24 years ago today. # Star Trek Voyager. Mark Finney replied at High Pitch Maddie, at Star Trek, and at the Kate Mulgrew. Maddie, you should start a podcast with the Get Into Geek guys and make them watch it.
Funny stuff, Mark. Okay.
You are hilarious, Mark.
Eddie
'cause
I'll
that would
never watch
happen.
any of it in my life.
It would never happen.
Tell him he's dreaming.
Well, it's funny.
# seen them all.
Yeah, I was going to say, funny you say that, because I do have a little backup to that. Is in part of an email that Damo Edwards, a little chain he and I back and forth, because Damo has started watching Star Trek and was asking for some of my opinions on how to start, where to start, what to do, all that kind of stuff. And I did give him a list that I said I have given to Brendan and that Brendan's been using in his watching of Star Trek. And Damien says, so Brendan gives you crap a lot of the time with the box of shame, and that's one etc. and has been watching. Damo was shocked. He says, I actually enjoy it when you bring up similarities or little tidbits between Stargate and Star Trek. You're the only one, Damien. I love you.
Damo was one of the biggest haters of Star Trek.
Yeah, and now he's
Early
loving
on.
it.
Now he's loving it.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Well, it's just like my motto: hate it until you understand it.
Absolutely.
That sort of thing quite interests me. Sorry, not sorry, Rhys. Anyway, I'll keep getting through them and see how I go. So far, so good. Let you know how I go and my thoughts. Cheers, Damien. So, make sure you give me an update, Damos. Let me know how far you are. You might beat Brendan, because Brendan still hasn't finished Next Generation.
No, I'm starting back on Discovery, mate.
Yeah.
Season 2.
Hey, go to DS9.
At the start of Season 2 of the Discovery, she goes, space, the final frontier. I'm like, oh, they're actually trying to make it like Star Trek now. And Klingons have hair, I hear.
Yeah. They did that with Enterprise. After, I know Rhys is loving this Trump conversation, but after Voyager finished, they started a new series, the one with Scott Bakula and Jolene Blaylock.
Yeah.
And they decided, instead of, every show has always been Star Trek, something, and they decided just to call it Enterprise. Because they said they wanted to reach out to a larger fandom. They wanted to get rid of the quote-unquote Star Trek stigma. Everyone hated it. All the fans hated the fact that they felt that they were being snubbed, and the series did horribly. So at the end of Star Trek 3, they renamed it... the end of Season 2, beginning of Season 3, they renamed the show Star Trek, Enterprise.
Let's make a Star Trek show, but not live off the idea that it's a Star Trek show.
And it was a prequel. It was another prequel.
Yeah, stop making... Anyone out there, stop making prequels. No one gives a shit.
525,600 prequels. That is the most hideous thing I've ever heard.
I was going to actually send that through because that is the worst.
Has there ever been a prequel that's been good?
Not that I can recall, mate. Like, I enjoyed the
there's
Star
one.
Wars ones, well, number 2 and 3 when they came out, but since I'm like, nah, do we need them? Well, the sequels aren't that great either, but...
Episode 1 did give us Duel of the Fates, though, and that's why it always gets a pass for
that
me.
was good.
Always.
The double-sided saber.
Especially now that you can get that edit where someone has basically edited out all of Jar Jar. And the stuff they couldn't edit out,
And
they've given him
bit.
like an alien voice with
the
subtitles.
anti-cheese.
The anti-cheese edit. It
Edits.
is phenomenal, and you can get
Yeah.
through episode 1 in about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, all the Trade Federation guys are no longer Asian stereotype racist guys. They have alien voices as well with subtitles. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah,
So
makes
much
more
better.
sense.
Yeah,
So much
so
better.
good. I like this short one. Now, it's Heather Donovan. I'm not too sure where she's from, but it's a recommendation on Facebook. Dude, it's Stargate and Australian dudes. Makes my day to listen to them.
Boom.
Heather.
Short,
Love it.
sweet,
Say
simple.
no more.
Love it, Heather. I don't know where you're from, but obviously us Aussies are...
She's from heaven. If I believed in it, she'd be from heaven.
And you don't believe in it, but, you know, it's heaven
I'd be
around Earth.
willing to. I'd be willing to believe
Ooh,
in heaven
baby.
for Heather.
Heaven, it's a place on Earth.
Ooh, baby. Heather is a place on Earth.
Oh, shit.
Okay, you're getting a little bit ascension there, Matty. I've got an email here from Alison Tate. She says, I'm a really big fan of Stargate. I just finished the series for the first time and was disappointed that it ended until I discovered your podcasts.
Yay.
I may have gone a little overboard and listened to 2 seasons in 1 week.
Off.
But hey, typical Stargate fan, right? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy
Far
I
out.
found Daniel Jackson fans because Daniel is my favourite character.
It's awkward Rhys is reading this.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
dead now. And my family thinks I'm crazy. But I think I'm good because someone's favourite character is Rodney McKay, who was actually voted one of the most annoying TV characters ever. So
That's fair.
I can't wait for you guys to
Love me
evaluate
some Rodney.
Meridian, season 521. So
Yeah, done and
you're
dusted.
welcome. And Rhys's reaction to it, I bawled for a week. You guys are awesome and keep being funny.
Who was that?
Awesome. Thanks, Alison.
Alison, thank you. What,
Alison
2
Tate.
seasons in a week?
In a week, yeah.
Far out.
That's solid. That's solid
That
effort.
1 and
Alison.
2, like that would have been a hard slog.
If I did that, I would not want to see you for like a month because I would have just had enough of you. Like if I'd listened to
Yeah.
like 2 seasons of us in a week, I'd be like, I need a breather, guys. I need some alone time.
When I drove to South Australia for work, it was a 3-day trip. I listened to every episode when I was in signal range.
That's why you hate me.
Back to back, and it was I was literally. Well, I mean, put it on the list, sure. But, no. But I remember going to sleep that second night, and I was literally hearing your voices in my head.
Wow.
It was
It's like when you go
weird.
to a
It was
water
super
park for
weird.
the day, and then when you go to bed, you can feel yourself moving. You feel like you're
Yeah.
going down the
Yeah.
slide when you're in bed.
Or you piss your pants because you think you're still in the pool.
Sure.
No, just me. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I think we did mention him before in something, but I think it's the same guy, but I've just got him here on Instagram. It's Outpost23 on Instagram who says, you got yourselves a new patron from Ireland, guys.
Ireland.
To which we replied, I don't know who wrote this. We apologise in advance for Maddie and his accent delusion. Well, a fiddly dee and a top of the morning to you.
Sounds like Mitch.
To which he replied, it's extremely impressive. Obviously talking about my accent.
Obviously.
I think you
Yeah, it's
guys...
great.
What else would he be
I
saying?
think you guys should let me on the show and I'll show all of you my Irish accents. I also do a good impression of the Stargate with my mouth. Well, that just sounds sexual.
Absolutely, film it. Send it
But
in,
yeah,
please.
send it
Get
in,
into
mate.
gate@gmail.com.
Definitely
Wow.
record that and record your accents and email
Your
it to
Venn-Horizon
us.
coming out.
Get into gate@gmail.com and we'll definitely give that a play, buddy.
Oh, your vortex is in my back.
I would.
Please don't close your iris.
I was
too
going to say,
early.
I wouldn't close my iris on Outpost 23. I've seen some of his pictures. I would not close my iris.
I got one here from David. I'm going to say Fourillon.
Sure.
Sounds
What did
French.
you say?
Fourillon. No, it's spelled Forgione.
Forgione.
Fourillon. David Forgorn. We're in
I think I've
Australia.
ordered that off a menu.
He's from South Australia. He says, G'day
Oh,
from
mate.
South Australia. I've just started to rewatch SG1 from the beginning for the 3rd time. Yeah, huge fan. And my wife says, hey, are there any podcasts, being the podcast enthusiast? And we discovered Get Into Geek. And after Children of the Gods pilot, I listened to your podcast, which is totally awesome. So I will be listening to your podcast after every episode as I rewatch SG1 from the beginning. So I thought I'd say excellent podcast and looking forward to listening to your podcast. Cheers, Dave and Jody, who is watching Stargate SG1 for the first time.
Oh,
Jody.
welcome,
There you go.
Jody.
And
Welcome.
Jody, what a
Into
great
Gate.
You're the
advice
first
to jump
timer.
on the podcast.
Absolutely, Jody. Thanks for telling Dave to find us. Dave
Yeah.
and Jody, South Australia.
That's not just Jody going, I'll watch your stupid show to shut you up just so we can do something together. Like, if she's actually going, hey, you know what, podcast, you should have a look and, like, dedicate more of your time to
Yeah.
Stargate. Listen to it in the car, watch it at
Absolutely.
home. Well
Did he
done.
say they're married?
Good
Great
couple.
decision.
Yeah, my wife.
Never
Wow.
have.
I mean,
Wife.
he didn't say it Poochie style, but
Wife.
No one says it as good as the pooch.
that's true.
Wife.
Kenneth Price, a big K Price, which I've just called him for the very first time. They are the best Stargate podcast out there. It's a recommendation on
Oh,
Facebook.
stop it.
Such a great crew, aren't we?
Keep
if
it
I ever
coming.
visit Australia, I do plan on stalking these guys. No, not really. But really, I do plan on it. I can't wait for the Star Trek podcast they plan to start. He even knows that's a joke. In all seriousness, you couldn't ask for a better group of guys reviewing Stargates. Thank you.
Mate, you can't
Kenny.
stalk me if I give you my address and sit there naked.
Yeah,
Wait.
yeah, you can't stalk me if my front door's unlocked.
Thanks, Kenny. Thanks, K Price.
K-Price.
Go for us, which is
It's like K-Fed,
Mm.
but better.
Only
Yeah,
worse.
so much better.
So much better.
So much better.
I've got one here from Philip Smerezniak.
Oh, nailed it.
Says, Get Into Gate. Would you guys say the Flying Gibson is the recent for each season?
Oh,
No.
Oh, yes. Yes, Philip.
No.
see what he's
Yeah.
done there. The Rhys-on.
Oh,
The reason.
Right.
The reason.
It's a
The
spelling joke.
reason. The reason for each season. I love it.
Rhys thinks so.
Bloody love it. Oh, I absolutely am. But I love the pun. I love the joke. Love your stuff.
Dad joke activated. Dad joke activated.
On
How
your
are those
Phil.
levels?
On your Phil.
they're
High.
good. They're
Pretty good,
good.
actually.
They're all good.
They're good. It's
whole-
all good.
Yeah.
Oh, I did a
Just a
hashtag
microphone technique.
GIG Hairy Mailbag.
Mm.
Just in case anyone wants to jump. That's all like going to take off, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, do you know, that's what I like. I love to the point where we're just the gig podcast.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and people
it's a
who
bit like, but
people who listen are giggers.
the Get Into Geek is the same anagram,
Mm.
so it's a bit awkward.
Well, I mean,
Are we
yeah.
surpassing Get Into Geek?
well, I mean, they
Certainly
are
more
our biggest
content.
competition, aren't they? So I mean,
Yeah.
those guys.
Yeah. Can you though?
I was making it sound like
I know you
I was
were.
making it
That's why
sound
I
like they were
pulled
a
out.
different podcast,
And
not the same.
And I pulled
the
out,
same
but
four
I'd already
guys.
said enough,
Yeah.
and I felt like I'd ruined
Mitch,
the joke. I
you never have to
apologize.
pull out with me.
think
You
we
never have to
crashed
pull
it.
out.
That's true.
You never have to pull out with me, Mitch.
A little bit of trivia about Get Into Geek, though. Yeah, our website, the domain name ran out, and now
I noticed that at the end of the
Yeah, me too.
podcast.
porno website.
What?
Yeah, type in getintogeek.com, which when I went to renew it, because it told me I had more time than what I did, and I jumped on, and it's like, oh no, this is under review. This someone else has got ownership
It's
of
geeky
it.
girls getting like triple banged, isn't it?
It's not.
Oh.
That would make sense, right? But for 6, 7,
Cosplay.
8 months, it was unavailable. You couldn't look at it, and I just keep going on a check because I want it to one day pop up and go, "Hey, you can buy this if you want." And I'm like, "Good, I've been waiting." I pop up, and it's like the most basic looking nudity. You can't even really call it porn. You know, it's like it's almost like
Is it one of your friends
I'm
just
kind of happy
have
though.
have
Like,
a laugh.
that's
It's
pretty
not.
cool. That it's like, you know, now it's just porn.
But
It's
that's
like
what you would think.
It's like when I found out that there were prostitutes living in my old apartment building.
Yeah.
Tune into our Patreon if
exactly
you want to
like
hear
that.
that story.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. I thought it would make more sense if whoever owns these websites go, you know what? Every time there's a domain, they get an alert when there's a domain name running out, and they go, well, that's clearly got visitors, a lot of traffic. We want to steal those people who one day type in that website.
Yeah, like
and
Scott Morrison, the Prime Minister of Australia. They
And
stole
wasn't
his
there
domain.
that thing
Did they really?
back
Yeah.
in like
Oh
back
my
in
God.
like
Oh my
the
God.
2000s?
No, that's so good.
Where it's like if you went to like
this is it.
10.com, it was porn. Like we've got Channel 10 here. Is like is like a TV station. And it's like
Brazilian
their
standing
thing
on our
was
head.
Channel
That's a great
10.
website now.
I guarantee this has got more hits now than it ever had.
It used to have a review of like Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and a
Something's
video
awakened.
and a video of me watching Entourage, and now it's got that.
I've got one here from Matt Morissette.
Alanis'
It's
brother.
like rain.
He's got in touch with us. He's slipped into our DMs on Facebook.
Love it.
Maury.
I'm sure you'll love it. And not in a minute, you won't. He says, hey guys, just listened to Summit Last Stand. Loved it as usual. However, Matty is not doing his job properly.
How dare you, sir?
What
How
job?
dare you?
Can we clarify what job that is?
Well, he
Yeah.
says, I really expected him to pick it up this episode, perhaps do a across the universe. But no, High Pitch must be too occupied jerking it to Star Trek again.
Hey, I jerk it a lot, never to Star Trek.
Oh, you're missing out.
Yeah.
He says, boys, Matty has let you down big time. He should be forced to do a box of shame for this. Half of the reason I love your podcast is you guys give me info and foresight
Oh, foreskin.
into the
I've
into
got
the
plenty of that to
episodes.
share.
Oh,
Plenty.
Jesus.
much
into these
information.
episodes that I never saw or got after watching a few times. That's why justice
Injustice,
must be had. Get out the gold cattle prod, boys. He deserves it.
For what?
My pouch poker.
Matt is
Yeah.
not holding back.
Well, Matty let out his
what have I
secret. Just jump
done?
on Wikipedia, on the fandom wiki,
Yeah.
and listen to audio commentary.
And do a video.
Do it.
This huge issue with,
Oh, still
with
going.
the episode lies with Lieutenant Elliot.
Mm-hmm.
One of the faves.
Here I was thinking we were going to go back to 2010 and I was going to have to curl up in the corner and cry myself to sleep.
The actor that plays him is in an episode of Stargate Atlantis.
Oh, yeah,
He's the oldest kid from SGA season 1, Stargate Atlantis season 1, episode 6, Childhood's End.
Yeah.
And we never see him again. My ass. Why would Stargate reuse an actor that had died? Has this ever happened before? The actor has been in 2 episodes of SG1 and 1 episode of SGA. Is this normal? Do they think we wouldn't notice? Is this a conspiracy?
Happens all the time.
Is
Hashtag
Walter
Nareem.
aware of this?
Yeah.
Hashtag Todd.
What's this bloke's name?
Matt Morissette.
I say this in the nicest possible way. I don't think you understand how Across the Universe works.
Across the Universe is an in-universe
To be honest, I'm pretty sure I don't either.
And the amount of times, we say never see them again. I think that's what we're saying. We never see the
Never
character,
see
right?
Elliot ever again.
And I
Yeah,
think that's
he's
only
dead.
surpassed by the amount of times you've said, now we see that actor pop up in blah, blah, blah. But anyway, go on. Why else is Maddie?
He
not
wants to
right?
know, is Walter aware of this? Did Elliot not set off the poison and
She's
is
really
in
angry.
fact living on the planet in the Pegasus galaxy? Please, these questions need to be answered.
He's supposed
and
to be-
also, box of shame, because you, Maddie.
You added that bit.
Love you. No, I did not.
Really?
Love you guys. Keep up the great work. I trust that you will ridicule him well. Thank you.
We sure will.
Well. What a shame it doesn't exist anymore. First of all, Maddie.
One of the great mailbags.
Wow. Maddie needs
Yeah.
to switch to decaf, first of all.
No. I'm all
Secondly,
for Matt here.
there's a very simple reason.
Battle of the Mats.
Besides the fact that I forgot, Childhood's End is... It's the first commandment of Stargate Atlantis.
Yes.
You don't mention it
Boy,
in
it
polite
totally
circles.
Is. It actually is.
It actually is.
Is that Cooper?
No, it's Martin Giro, who is the Cooper of Atlantis.
Yeah.
It's his first episode. You do
'Cause
not
it's
mention
literally
it,
the same storyline.
and you do not mention it in polite circles for actual Stargate fans because it is absolutely horrendous. And yeah, Nareem, for example, comes back at the first episode of Atlantis as Weir's boyfriend. So I'll mention that when we get to it.
Yeah.
I
The
probably
guy
would've-
from Demons and Korai.
Yeah, we mentioned
dude.
that.
Yeah, but did he die?
The guy in the Link.
Todd the Wraith.
Yeah, he's in the
is
Link
also...
in this season of Stargate. I think it's season 6 or 7.
What's that?
The Link.
The Link.
Oh, the
episode,
dead guy
The Link.
Braytech brought through the Stargate in bloody...
Yeah.
what episode was that?
Maternal Instinct.
Eternal Instinct.
Tyrrell. Yeah, well, I just honestly, I don't like Childhood's End. But yeah, we'll chat about it when we get there. But spoiler alert, they bring that actor back.
You, Maddie.
Hey, remember, like how back in
do your fucking job.
like
for
back in-
God's sake.
Jesus.
hey, I found
Get back on Wiki and fucking look that shit
I
up.
found interesting trivia on fucking Sentinel of all
Let us
things, where I
down.
found out that lesbian haircutted chick was the vagina-faced alien from Spirits.
Yeah.
So suck a dick, Matt. No, thanks for the email. I appreciate it.
Were you telling yourself to suck a dick?
Oh, mate.
No,
all
but
the
when he
time.
listens back, he'll be like, all right.
I came here to suck
got
dick and
it.
eat Cheetos, and I'm all out of Cheetos.
Oh, hang on. That requires a bit of fan flute, that one.
I came here to suck dick and eat Cheetos. And I'm all out of Cheetos.
That's beautiful
Jesus.
Hi,
stuff.
Mum.
So,
Off-world
Off-world activation.
fellas.
Defense team, stand by.
Gee, like Walter never stops working, does he? Like
No,
even
he's
when we're
all
not
over
talking about an episode, we're just here for the mailbag. And
Like,
there
it is
he is.
late.
All right, lads, what's the crack? Bobby Reedy here.
Bobby!
Voicemail. Finally, yeah. I mean, you started the segment a while ago now, I think, and I've been kind of mad to send you a message because I think, I have to say it's kind of a strange thing to hear you guys every week and
back
then
at
to
ya.
even send in a message and have you guys read it out, but it being totally a one-way relationship. Yeah, you guys never call me back. It's so strange. So I thought
When we
maybe
want
it's kind
something.
of, it's kind of funny to send in a voicemail. I think it's a cool segment. I've been mad to send you in a voicemail for a while now. Mostly because of Matty's racist Irish accent.
Yes.
I
Yes.
thought maybe it would be a good thing for him to hear somebody talking without saying potato.
Oh, maybe.
Thank you, buddy.
Now, I don't blame you, Matty, okay? I think it was your upbringing. I know you're a Star Trek Voyager fan.
My father made me wrong.
And
Voyager
so,
fan?
yeah, those Fairhaven
Oh,
episodes.
yeah, Fairhaven and
I mean,
Spirit Folk.
It's just basically a little farming town full of absolute simpletons with the worst fucking Irish accent you'd ever hear in your life. It's the accent that an American thinks that Irish people talk like.
Yeah,
So Matty, I
Matty
don't
is.
blame you. So but seriously, I think it's gas. It's a really funny impression, and I do laugh every time you do it. And especially now that I think there's a few of us on Patreon from Ireland, then definitely, I know, keep it up. Philly deep potatoes gets me every time, I have to say.
I got a rubber
Just wanted
stamp
to
for a
say
real
thanks
fucking
for what
Irishman.
you're doing.
You can all get.
It's a cool thing you have going on, and it's a highlight of my week, I have to say. Getting back to these episodes that I haven't watched sometimes in 10 years. Yeah, I mean it's great. Your different segments and just in general getting Rhys's take as a first time viewer. Just it's nice to hear the banter as well. I mean, when you get to a stage where you're able to make fun of each other's deaf lesbian sisters, I mean, you know you have something special. It's definitely, you know you have something special there.
You know you have something real special.
Look, lads, keep doing what you're doing. I love listening to you. Hope 2019 is a great year for you. Have a great year of recording. Looking forward to hearing the next episodes. And maybe even talk to you soon. All right, go on. Good luck. Take care.
On your Bobby.
Cheers, Bobby.
That made me fucking moist.
Moist in
That
the
was
crack.
brilliant.
Bloody legend.
Not only is that just a gorgeous, delicious accent, I got a fucking rubber stamp from a real Irishman.
I think it was tongue in
I'm
cheek.
happy with that.
Yeah, like he obviously hates it.
He had a joke and then he
like-
said, but in all seriousness, I love it. It's great. And he said Philly potatoes. So, you know. You can almost hear a little bit of the German in there too, because he's living in Germany with his girlfriend. So you can hear a little bit of the German.
Jesus.
Just a little
I think
bit.
you're stalking him a little bit too hard there, Matty.
So 1 minute I don't pay attention to our listeners, and now I'm stalking them. Find a happy medium, high pitch.
He took it himself. It's like a box of
We've
shame.
got him. We've got him in.
All right, that is episode
Wowzers.
112 of Get Into Gate. It started off
Jesus.
with a group rank and finished off what
With an empty bag.
What an emptying
Yeah.
of the Hairy
I'm
Mailbag.
spent. Absolutely.
And we're
Quite
thinking
deflated.
we might change it up next season, and maybe we'll just when we get stuff in, so that our bag doesn't build up so big, we might just give it some quick
Quick release.
unannounced releases where you just won't even know. You'll
Not
be
even a sexual build-up. Just
you'll be listening to an episode of Stargate, and then bang, we're emptying our bag all over your ears. Like
Yeah.
it can just come at any time.
Don't pretend you don't like it.
Don't make promises, Matty.
So keep sending your stuff in. Voicemails, we love. Any kind of correspondence, we love it. If we didn't get to you, we're sorry. There's just so much stuff, and we're very unorganised.
It's just hit midnight. So
Boom.
that's what I should tell everyone. Happy weekend.
So we'll be back next week to kick off season 6 with Redemption. We're going to, it's part 1 and part 2, right? So we can we have a bit of
shit,
fun with
yeah.
that, right?
double it
You know,
up.
Just whack it all together.
Do a
Let's kickstart
supersize.
with a supersized double episode put together for Redemption there to kick off season 6.
Can sci-fi redeem? What Showtime did?
True that. Let's see what their style is all about. In the meantime, you can check out all of our old episodes and all of Season 5, which we ranked earlier in the episode, on our podcasting channels. If you want to get involved in the Hairy Mailbag, you want to start filling it back up again so we can do our quick releases in a couple of weeks' time, hit us up, getintogate@gmail.com. Send us something on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to search Get Into Gate, a Stargate podcast. Hell, comment on a podcast out there or something.
We're not
Anything,
call it
get in touch.
We'll call it a surprise mailbag.
Ooh, surprise mailbag.
Surprise mailbag.
As long as it comes with the sound effect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you want a big hard rank, jump on to patreon.com/get into gate.
Yeah, we're just dishing it out
We'll
there.
help you.
Yeah. You don't
Hear about how I almost got ranked off by someone for doing an Uber drive when I'm not an Uber driver.
Jesus, that's desperate measures, isn't it?
Oh, shit, we're doing that.
Okay, all right. There you go.
Yeah, let me get my page back.
I mean, that's a wild night.
Wow, you just broke through the failsafe right there.
I mean, 4's bad enough, but the 5th man, Jesus.
like
Such a menace.
it's like a
Jump in
rite of
anytime.
passage.
I've almost reached a threshold with this whole idea of doing this every week. I forgot about it every year.
It's just such a revelation, isn't it?
Just ticking them off.
Mate, we're doing it since 2001. Keep up.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know about a sky, but my eyes are sure red. No, that doesn't work.
Cut to 48 hours later.
Yeah, has anyone
Still
got
here.
anything?
Yeah.
I once had an ex-girlfriend. I called her the Tomb.
Oh, see, I think you're going to say you had an ex-girlfriend called Desperate Measures.
I had a girlfriend. I
No.
called her the Warrior.
Oh, did
No.
she have a?
Yeah.
Did she have an extreme wormhole?
No, but once we did it, I had Between Two Fires for a bit here.
Oh, Jesus! I bet she was a beast of burden.
That's
what I'm saying.
what I was going to
Her name was Meridian from memory.
Yeah, ended up enemies, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Like,
where is
had
this
an
ever going?
argument. That was the last stand.
But you pushed on. It ended up being a proving ground to better yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. It's ascension, straight up to better things.
When you were in the middle of the Meridian, how did you? Was there a fifth man involved at all?
Oh, I think rite of passage.
Yeah.
Had to.
Yeah.
Had to be.
I think we've done it for season 5.
Well done.
Yeah, we got there. In fairness, it was probably a harder slog in 5 years, but we're fine. We're
I
fine,
feel like
we're
a
fine.
warrior after that.
Nah,
Yeah,
it's
big
already
time.
again. It's yeah. We're all yep. Okay.
That was the joke.
Yep.
Yep.
See you next week.
Get Into Geek.